It's match point in the Moto3 World Championship. Welcome back to a brand new video in the next episode of my MotoGP 25 career mode for part number 21 today and the penultimate round of the Moto3 World Championship here at Portugal for the Portuguese Grand Prix at the Portimao roller coaster that is located on the Algarve. Not particularly one of my favourite circuits. However, we come into this one 16 points, I think, the gap over Adrian Fernandez. And it is going to be a spicy weekend because Portimao, as I say, not one of my favourite circuits, never really been able to string a good result together, and it's not got off to the best of starts as we run wide at the end of turn number 1. Now through turn 12 up towards the hairpin, up onto the curb, snatching the brakes, and again, wandering away from the apex of turn 13. We've got a yellow flag as Buastri and Rossi, the two Honda Team Asia bikes, lose their lap. On this particular occasion with 25 minutes and 15 seconds thereabouts left on the clock of practice. Remember, if you're new to MotoGP or new to the series and you don't really know what's going on right now, it's just a motorbike going around in circles, we have 25 minutes. You can see on the left hand side of the screen the white background numbers. We need to be in the top 14 and directly into Q2. So Q2 qualifying, and as you can see at the minute, as we skip on to later on in the session, we are in 26th position out of the top 14. Our number 26 as we get ran into the back of by Stefano Nepa, who's then actually got a long lap penalty in doing so. Not quite sure how that works because obviously he's going so much quicker than I was at that time, but Nepa's got a penalty. He's got to serve a long lap in the race, as I probably should have rewound the practice lap there and flashbacked to maybe not give him a long lap, but I didn't because I'm savage like that. But back to the lesson of MotoGP. We're down in 26th at the minute as we've come out on brand new soft tyres to try and get a lap time in that will put us into Q2 because we're at the minute on race pace. We're struggling. We're really struggling. We're down in 26th, we're 1.3 seconds off, and we need that time to get us into the top 14 to put us into Q2, which is the second qualifying session, and you kind of directly go into the pole shootout. If we're outside of the top 14, we'll have to go through Q1, and then it's a fight for the top 4 positions to join the previous 14 to make up the first 5 rows, I think it is, 6 rows of the Moto3 race later on in Q2 when you end up with the top 18 with the 4 combined from Q1. So if you're new to MotoGP or anything like that, there you go. If you knew that already, then I've wasted a couple of minutes of your life explaining it anyway. But down in towards turn number 8, the Samsung hairpin, and then over the hilltop and the little tabletop at the top of the hill, controlling a wheelie, and then it's through Craig Jones corner, a big bold corner named after the late great Craig Jones, who sadly lost his life in 2008 at the Supersport World Championship event at Brands Hatch. And they named that corner because at the time this circuit was being constructed, his team was closely affiliated to those building the Portimao circuit, and they wanted to kind of pay respects to Craig, and they named the Craig Jones corner after him, and it's quite fitting with it being such a balls out corner. But this lap much better. We've gone red through the first 3 sectors. We're chasing, I think it's Bertelle, as we head through turn 15, the final corner, a very long final corner. Have to be patient and try not to spin the tyre over the top as you pick up the throttle over the line. What's it going to be? Are we into the top 14? Do we go fastest? We don't go fastest, but we are into the top 14. It's P4 behind Quiles, rival Adrian Fernandez and Angel Piqueras, and in doing so we push Bertelle down to 22nd. We run wide at turn 1, and that's going to be all she wrote. No further improvements. It is P4 and safely through to Q2, but we had to stick our neck out to get that lap time, which doesn't fill me with all that much confidence going into the race. Qualifying, I think we'll be fine. 1 lap, we're okay. Our race pace though, a bit of a different kettle of fish, and we are struggling a little bit. We're lacking, well, 1.3 seconds as it kind of turned out to be in our opening stint. So we have a difficult time of it, I think, coming our way. Carpe, Pini, Moodley and Perrone join the top 14 from practice, which includes Eddie O'Shea. Actually, really good showing from Eddie O'Shea on the M-Lav bike. The M-Lav bike actually going very well in today's real-life Moto3 Grand Prix with Marco Morelli, and then Eddie O'Shea narrowly missing out on the points in 16th, but Morelli did well, as did Casey Gorman. Let's just have a shout out to Casey Gorman. Anyway, down in towards turn number 1 for qualifying for the first time into this tricky little right-hander. Again, patient as we get over the curb, and theoretically we should probably be rolling out the lap because we track extended, but we're going to continue because the lap will eventually go away from us with a moment there, and yeah, it's not been a good start to this first lap of the session, and let's see what it's going to be as we come down towards the final corner of turn 15. Again, keeping it nice and tight. I would like to have maybe gone a little bit wider in, just to open the exit up a little bit, over the hill, over the curb, over the line. It's a 146.482, and I have no idea what that is in relation to the other riders, if it's going to be good enough for pole position or what. But we do go again, and it's much cleaner this time. We are improving on our illegal lap, let's say, as Carpe loses a lap to yellow flags. We cross the line, we improve in time, but not really much in position either. It's 11th place as we embark on another lap, but unfortunately it didn't come together from there. We were unable to improve, and crucially, neither was Adrian Fernandez in the sense of getting inside the top 12. He did improve and relegated us to last of the times set in that session. So me and Fernandez will go from 16th and 17th on the grid.
Good morning from Gavin Emmett at the Algarve International Circuit. We are just a few kilometres from the coastal city of Portimao and ready to bring you the Portuguese Grand Prix.
So the stage is set then for the Portuguese Grand Prix, and variable conditions await us. It was Noah Detweiler last time out who conquered the changing conditions of Malaysia to take his first victory in our career mode save and his first victory of his Moto3 career, which I think is quite fitting after what happened in the real life Malaysian Grand Prix. A reminder there for Nepa, he's got a long lap penalty. We've got a lot of work to do from 16th or 17th on the grid, wherever we are on the grid. 17th, Fernandez just ahead of us. It's going to be a fierce Moto3 battle in Portimao.
At Portimao, everything's ready for the start of the race and the adrenaline's running high. There's only room for one thought in the rider's mind: to make it to the finish line first.
So it's Quiles on pole position, Buchanan in the middle of the front row, Joel Kelso rounding out the front row, the real-life Portuguese pole sitter. Let's see if he can have a better go at it than he did in real life. We have not had a good start at all, and Detweiler, the winner last time out, he's got ahead of us, as has Nepa, who we've already got an investigation with because we ran into the back of, so maybe we'll now get a long lap thrown our way as a bit of karma. We have got, crucially, ahead of Adrian Fernandez, the number 31, Leopard Honda, who dives up the inside of, I think that was Pini. He's going to be aggressive whenever he's around us. You can see that angry face, and that makes him more aggressive whenever he's around us. So, as long as we're near Fernandez, he will be making moves left, right and centre, but we're going to try and get ahead of Fernandez down into turn 5. There's not much room, and there's actually contact as we get caught up on the inside curve. There's more contact between, I think, Eddie O'Shea and Ralston, that is, as we wiggle our way through turn 6 and 7, and we're now going to look to the inside of Jacob Ralston into turn 8, and we are through and into P12. So it's a decent start. We've made up places, we're in the points, and we can see David Almanza just ahead of Eddie O'Shea, rounding out the top 10. But as you can see, the gap ahead opening up, 1.2 seconds the gap to Eddie O'Shea. We've got Adrian Fernandez just behind us, and he's closing right in, breathing right down our neck. And maybe Fernandez passing us might not really be a bad thing. It'll be a 1-point loss, and if he's got the pace, we can maybe try and just latch onto the back of him and use him to drag us to the back of that top 10 battle, because we are losing time hand over fist as again Fernandez really close into the back of us, and then actually sits the bike up and runs into the back of us, and that's going to give him the drive for a move into turn 15. We lie it over the nose of Adrian Fernandez. He's not having it, and we're not having it either, as we start lap number 3 of the Portuguese Grand Prix right up over the curve. That will be a track limits warning, I'm pretty sure, as we head down towards turn number 1 for the third time. Here comes Ralston, here comes Pini, and it looks like not Buchanan. Who's Buchanan's teammate in this career mode save? I can't even remember. As we head to turn number 1, it was late on the brakes, it was aggressive over the curbs, it was a bit of a block defensive move there from ourselves as we drop down into Lagos for the third time, and then climbing back up the hill onto the back straight, and we left the door open for Fernandez, who comes through and pushes us wide. He kind of swiped our front wheel. Thankfully, no drama and no misdemeanors for ourselves, but Fernandez means business here in Portugal. He's now through, and he's got work to do though to close that gap, because we have lost touch with the group. The group's split into two, and I'm sure Fernandez, as we get very close to the back of our rival, I'm sure Fernandez won't be thankful of that one whatsoever. But my blessings are, as Lunetta has crashed out of the race further back, my blessings are Fernandez is only there. We're only losing a point to our title rival as it stands, as we head over the hilltop and down into Portimao corner for the third time. And I think we could just sit pretty comfortable really behind Fernandez and try to see if he can close the gap to the riders in front. Eddie O'Shea currently holding P11, and that's a big mistake from ourselves. We got way too greedy on the brakes. We lose a lot of time to Fernandez, and we lose a position to Rolston, which we might be able to get back as we go for a tight line, picking up the throttle, but no way through on Jacob Rolston as we run wide and get another track limits warning. Now we've got Peony breathing over our neck, and we've touched the inside curb, and it's all going wrong in the second half of lap number 3. We're down to P15, and now we're down to P16 because Richie Moodley is through. Moodley moving up into 15th place on that Bowie bike. We're in the slipstream of Peony. We're going to surely get ahead of Moodley on the brakes. Down the inside of Peony as well. A big move on the intact rider, and we do get ahead of that Dynavolt bike, and we're back into what's that, P14 I think now. Our teammate Nicola Carraro not really doing much favours. He's down in about 17th position at the moment, but it's Fernandez, Rollstone, myself and Peony all fighting for 12th position in this Moto3 race. Fernandez though a little bit of time over Rolston, who's got a little bit of a gap over us. As you can see on the right hand side of the screen as we head through Craig Jones corner, the gap for the Moto3 World Championship, and we've gone down. We have crashed out of the points in Portugal. We touched the inside curb and we are down, and we have damage to the bike, and we are out of the points. We're at the back of the field. That is not what the doctor ordered. There was another rider who had gone down. Here's another look at it. We touched that inside curb, and the front just said no, and we are out of the race, as is Noah Detweiler. We managed to, I say out of the race, we're out of contention. We're down now in 23rd position. Bertele behind us, who's had a misdemeanor earlier on in the race, and now we've got Bouassery ahead of us. We're through on him. Nepa, who's done his long lap, he's in 21st. Uriarte in 20th. And we've got a mountain to climb on these last 2 laps of the race if we want to get anywhere near a shot of the points. This is Adrian Fernandez, and that is a move coming on Eddie O'Shea, and that will move him up 1 position into P11, and Fernandez pinches it on the final lap of the Moto3 race. It's going to be a bit of a point swing. Thankfully, not much of a point swing for us. It's Quiles, though, who's going to win the Portuguese Grand Prix. Munoz is going to be second. Buchanan is going to get a podium in 3rd position. And it's going to be commiserations for ourselves. 22nd and no points in the Moto3 World Championship as we head to the final round of the season in Valencia. And to rub salt in the wounds, Bouassery is going to pip us to the line. It's 23rd position, and that is not what we needed in Portugal. But as I say, thankfully Adrian Fernandez only 11th and only scores about 5 points I think for that position. It's Quiles' victory. Munoz and Buchanan 2nd and 3rd, Kelso 4th, missing out on the podium by exactly 1/10. Furusato 5th, the Foggia, Perrone, Rueda, Almanza and Piqueras rounding out the top 10. Fernandez in 11th, Eddie O'Shea in 12th place on the MLAV Honda after being pipped by Adrian Fernandez in the final couple of corners. The gap going into the final Moto3 battle of the season. 11 points the difference between myself and Fernandez. It is a 2-horse race in the Moto3 World Championship. There is no potential mathematical way that it is going to be a 3-way fight and Piqueras can get in the mix. It is a 2-way fight for the title. Piqueras, though, he is still within contention for 2nd in the Moto3 standings. It's going to be an exciting finale at the Valencian Grand Prix, the Moto Grand Prix of the Valencian community. our first visit since 2023 after missing the 24 finale that was moved to Catalonia due to the recent floodings. Well, I say recent floodings, at the time, the recent floodings. But there we go, that is it. We've now got one round left on the Moto3 World Championship and one race potentially between myself or Adrian Fernandez and being crowned Moto3 World Champions. Anything can happen in Valencia. The weather could be difficult. The circuit is difficult for us. The championship fight rages on in Moto2 and it rages on in MotoGP as well. Marc Marquez leading Pecco Bagnaia by 7 points. Canet leading Gonzalez by 8 points. We have all three championships to be decided in Valencia. It's going to be an exciting weekend. I can't wait for it. We're going to try and come out victorious in the Moto3 World Championship. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you with the crucial finale of the Moto3 World Championship very, very soon. So until then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.